Hi guys, my name is Ricky Rios Robinson, and today I am doing an oral presentation on the way that Latinos are stereotyped in Hollywood. I want to begin with a quote by a woman. Her name is Chimamanda, and she says, "The problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story." According to Deadline.com, a new study says Latinos were better represented in front of and behind the cameras in the 1950s than they are today. The same report asserts that stereotyping of Latinos in English language movies and TV shows is worse than it was 20 years ago. They go on to say that while more than 50 million Latinos in the U.S. make up 17% of the population, there were no leading roles for Latino actors among the top 10 movies and scripted TV network shows in all of 2013. And when they do make their way to the big screen, they are relegated to stereotypical roles such as cholos or cholas, maids, sex symbols, day laborers, and recent immigrants. The play Ole for Hollywood uses satire to bring light to the pervasive stereotypes in Hollywood today. The problem is, Hollywood continues to force feed us these typical stereotypes, and we don't even realize it. Our stereotypes prevent us from seeing the person for who he or she really is. It is imperative that we realize the way Hollywood influences how we see other people, so that we can eliminate the problem once and for all. The characters in the play Ole for Hollywood acted out typical Latino stereotypes that permeate mainstream movies today, and I am here to offer you an alternative. First, I will discuss specific scenes in the play Ole for Hollywood. It's 2 scenes. Second, I will point to that stereotype as it plays out on the big screen. And finally, I will offer you a powerful and uplifting alternate movie for you to see. So Ole for Hollywood uses satire to expose and criticize foolishness and corruption of an individual or a society by using humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule with the ultimate goal of improving humanity. So in the first scene in Ole for Hollywood, we see Christina Cruz as she auditions for a part in a movie. She's a young American girl born and raised in a typical American family in Walnut Creek, California. Christina is a Mexican American. However, the director of the play sees her brown skin, hair, and eyes, and immediately stereotypes Christina as a recent immigrant. Initially, Christina attempts to tell the director that she has lived in California her entire life and comes from a great family. But it becomes apparent that the director would rather have Christina sensationalize her life when she tells Christina, "Tell me about the freeways you had to cross to get here." For far too long, Hollywood has featured Hispanics speaking heavily accented English in television and in cinema. Christina decides to go with it and begins to paint herself as a recent immigrant, accent and all. And the director immediately hires her and says, "You people have a great work ethic." So I just want to show you a quick example of this type of stereotypical behavior in a movie called Spanglish. Here we go.
Hi, we're here for the interview. Come on in, we're out back.
Academy Award winner James L. Brooks invites you on a journey across the cultural divide.
Whoa. Gee, Winston Heaven, are you okay?
Don't worry, I'm not mad.
From the director of As Good as It Gets.
What's your name?
Flor.
Flor. No. Flor.
Flor.
Perfecto!
I didn't know Dad found somebody. You gonna help out with the house and the kids?
Solo español.
You work here and you don't speak any English at all. Save me.
No taking the ball from the dog. Just no fetch. Can you make us some coffee?
She doesn't speak the language. But in a family where no one understands each other.
Mom, it's not even noon. Look.
She'll fit right in.
So I think we get the idea of the type of stereotyping that is going on here. We see this stereotype of Latinos as new immigrants with heavy accents in the motion picture, which is called Spanglish. Flor is a Mexican single mother who works as a housekeeper in the United States for a rich family. She speaks very little English, so she has problems communicating with her bosses. This film is another example of a Mexican woman who is presented as silly, ignorant, and as a maid in the house of an Anglo family. So instead of watching Spanglish, check out America Ferrara in Real Women Have Curves. According to Roger Ebert, Real Women Have Curves is a humorous and warm-hearted look at a Mexican-American teenage girl coming of age in a boiling cauldron of cultural expectations, class constrictions, family duty, and her own personal aspirations. Anna realizes that leaving home to continue her education is essential to finding her place proudly in the world as an American and a Chicana. In another scene in Ole for Hollywood, we see Cheech Marijuana as a super high-as-a-kite MC of the entire Hollywood award show. His character screams at the typical Hollywood portrayal of Mexican males as essays, wearing bandanas and Pendletons and always smoking marijuana. There has been no shortage of stereotypes of Latinos playing thugs, drug dealers, and gangbangers in U.S. films and television shows, especially police dramas. Popular films such as 1992's American Me and 1993's Mi Vida Loca chronicle the lives of fictional Hispanic drug kingpins and gangsters. According to racerelations.com, the gangster stereotype aimed at Latinos is particularly harmful, as it gives the public the idea that Hispanics aren't law-abiding citizens, but cholos. The truth is the majority of Latinos aren't criminals. They work as lawyers, doctors, teachers, pastors, and in a host of other arenas. So here is an alternate. I would suggest you check out the movie Endgame. Endgame is a fictionalization of how a chess team from Brownsville, Texas, one of the most ethnically disadvantaged cities in the country, went on to capture the Texas State Chess Championship. Director Carmen Marone had an epiphany that she should make movies to reach Latino teens through the medium they respond to the most. She is quoted as saying, "I needed to make movies that showed them as heroes." So today, I first discussed two specific scenes from Ole for Hollywood that play to Latino stereotypes. Second, I provided real-world examples of movies that play to those stereotypes. And last, I offered you an alternate movie to see to help replace the harmful portrayal of Latinos in American culture. The characters in the play Ole for Hollywood acted out typical stereotypes that permeate mainstream movies. Nearly 100% of the time, Latinos are portrayed as cholos and cholas, maids, over-sexualized men and women, gangbangers, and recent immigrants. It is imperative that we realize the way Hollywood influences how we see other people, so that we can eliminate the problem once and for all and begin to see people for who they truly are. Thank you so much and have a great day.